So I appreciate that, and as you know, you're a hero. So before we start, I want you to get a sense of who is in the collective knowledge and power of this room. So I'm going to do a little poll. For those of you who've just gotten involved in organizing, or you've been involved for somewhere up to 5 years, can you stand? And if you've been involved from between 5 and 10 years, can you stand?
Are we supposed to sit down?
Nope, stay standing.
10 to 20 years?
We should sit down.
20 to 30 years? All of those people, everyone else sit down. 30 years and above, stand up. Obviously, we stand on the shoulders. And I'm just honoring my grandmother, who was an organizer, a union organizer, as well as I stand here. So the Engage Network was founded 5 years ago by a group of people who really thought we should build more deeply, particularly online to offline, and we built small circle networks. We both build and practice and advise on them. So I'm going to give you a short snippet of some of the things that we've been building and practicing and failing with. First, I want to talk a little bit about this time. We're really going through a major shift in organizing, and it started with the shift that happened in media, where we shifted from broadcast media with TV, and now we're moved to a time that's citizen-powered media, where most media breaks at the citizen level. Things happen and we follow people. This shift is also happening in organizing. It's facilitated by the same tools, and we've been shifting from a time, of course, there's always been deep on-the-ground organizing, but we also moved to a period of time where a lot of campaigns were decided in rooms by people who said, this is the campaign, and they pushed it out to the grassroots. And we're now moving to a time, because of social networking tools, that we can have citizen-powered movements where people can really decide on the campaigns and spread them themselves. So the question I'm going to ask today is, what innovations are making the movement more citizen-powered and longer term? And Engage really looks at both internal skills, what Reverend here will be speaking about, the places that we connect with love, and also external skills. I'm going to talk about two strategies that we've been practicing and using. One is our study of the evangelical networks across the country, and the other is our study of what we call starfish networks. How many of you have read the book, The Starfish and the Spider, The Unstoppable Power of Leaderless Networks? Okay, we'll talk about that. So first, evangelical. This is a picture of an evangelical church outside of Chicago. It's called Willow Creek Church. What we learned from this right-wing church, and it's a right-wing church, we go in and we study the right wing, we learn from them too, is that they really spend a lot of time building their leaders. So they build a leader up for 9, 10, 11, 12 months before they release them to run a small group. Why does this matter to progressives? Oftentimes now what we're doing is we're putting people on an email list, and then we're bringing them in, and we're saying, go out, use the meetup tool, start a small group. But most groups fail within the first 4 meetings because people don't feel connected or a sense of community. So training up our leaders really matters to long-term engagement. We have a lot to learn there. This is the model that comes from Rick Warren's church, Purpose-Driven Life, which I also know NY has studied. And what to say about Rick Warren? Well, it's in 116 countries. It has over 500,000 ministers, so it's not just one church. It's a network of churches. Today, I'm just going to talk about one piece of this. This is how they bring in people, build them up, train them, and send them out to bring in others. Today, I'm going to talk about their core ministry people. These are people who are leaders of small groups, and that they've come in, they've been trained, they've gone through a network of courses and classes, and they serve as the community of care for the church. What does that mean? That means that Rick Warren says, what do you really believe you can bring care to this church? And they have a network of people. If your car is broken, they'll fix your car. If you have cancer and you can't clean up your house, they'll come clean up your house. You can't make your budget, they're going to come and sit with you. One of the churches we studied in Michigan actually during this time has been having a bucket for people who can't make the rent. And every single person, they stay there until they make the rent. That's what community of care looks like. That's what it looks like when you lay your body down because you've been cared for by somebody. We need to learn about that more deeply. We lost that. You guys, you have that. So the Starfish and the Spider, we learn a lot about this. It's a book written by two guys. One of them is named Ori Groffman, and he's a founding thinker of Engage. We're a network of people ourselves. And really, it looks at a starfish, which is, if you cut off its arm, it replicates, and a spider, which, if you cut off its head, it dies. So centralized and decentralized networks, that's what the book is about. And a decentralized network really grows and replicates. So where are we seeing these kinds of networks? Ooh, the Tea Party. The Tea Party is the starfish model. In fact, they call it their Bible. It is required reading in 4 of the 6 main Tea Party groups. The Tea Party Patriots is the main grassroots group that's doing outreach to Tea Party small group leaders. It's run by a woman named Jenny Beth Martin. She's also a breast cancer survivor. One of the things that Jenny Beth does every week is she has a phone call that lasts from 2 to 5 hours, and she asks every single local leader of every group, what do you think we should do on these different issues? If 60% of the local leaders don't agree, they don't take that on. Could you imagine that that was in every progressive movement, that 60% of your local leaders didn't agree, you don't take it on? The other thing they do is they practice the best practice to go big, so you have to get small. They really, if a mom comes to a group and she doesn't feel comfortable, they say start a mom's tea party group. She really believes in a church on every corner, and that the bigger the Tea Party gets, the smaller the groups can get. We're also seeing the starfish movement right now on Wall Street. This is Occupy San Francisco, a march I went to a few days ago. The Occupy Together movement has some really great best practices. Yesterday, Van talked about meta-narrative. How many people heard about that? So meta-narrative has a couple of pieces to it. Occupy allows people to really have a sense that something's happened, but it also allows them to take the brand. Tea Party does that too. So you have Occupy Detroit, Occupy New York, Occupy Boston, and each of them have a little bit of a different flavor. San Francisco had a lot of unions from the get-go. Also, it's something where bring whatever you have. You want to be in a circle of people who plays drums? You're the drum players. You're the people who cook? You cook. You're the people who bring sleeping bags. A real sense that anyone can participate. These networks are built on social networks. Although it hasn't been covered by the media, it looks spontaneous in my interviews with people at the main cities that have been launching. They've been organizing together. They have a core group of friends who really do know each other, and they've been together thinking about organizing, most of them for over 9 months. The internet and media are central to the spread of these kinds of networks. Why is this important? Because the Tea Party has a channel that runs 24/7. It's called Fox News. We don't have a channel like that. So as we're watching the Wall Street movement spread, the media are saying it's not important, it's not this, here they are, they should all dress alike, why are they dressing this way? We need to really remember, we don't have a channel that just says, this is what our message is. And still, 115 cities today. Woo! So a little summary between these two, what we should learn. Small circles, very important. Both, I think every organizer who's been working long term really sees a small circle that takes where people take care of each other. Understanding that people who come in the beginning predominantly come in for social reasons. They don't come in to be like, hey, this is political, we want you involved. They come into barbecues, they come into churches, they come into places where they can meet people. That these networks are co-creative. The more that you ask people, what do you want to do? How do you want to give? What is it from your purpose? What is your calling? Why are you here? The more they create, the stronger those networks will be. Community of care. This is a place, the progressive movement is really, we've lost it a little bit. I'm just going to say that. We need to be a space where if you are a mom or you are sick or something happens to you, that we care for you. And it must be part of our structure. If an organizer goes to a school site where someone's been told that they had a problem and that kid is a problem kid, to me that's an organizing meeting because you're there for someone. And we need to start quantifying that. The Center for Community Change is building incredible communities of care in North Carolina and Ohio. The organizers there on the ground, some of them are NOI as well, are innovating in ways that I can only say are beautiful, and they're love, and there's line dancing. So it's happening, and all of you are part of that. Thank you.